Midway through the summer months and things are really heating up around here. And that's why we're kicking back this week, Chillin' and Grillin'. Our centerpiece story looks at outdoor kitchens. Move over glamping, we've got glamorous grilling.
The grills themselves, along with the fridges, ice makers, are built for the outdoors. So they're made to withstand even the harshest conditions. Pretty much anything you can imagine going inside in your indoor kitchen can be put outside now.
Next up, it doesn't get much cooler than this. A time-tested way to beat the heat. It's Ice Ice Baby.
The people that come back, particularly on warm days, love the fact that this will cool you down. It's essentially like eating an ice treat. You can't get the same type of refreshment that you can out of a shave ice.
Then kicking back and chilling out, how about a spin on one of these? We'll have those stories along with the latest in our Positively Healthy Medical series. I'm Amy Osher, and this is Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. Serious home chefs thrive in a fully equipped kitchen, but when you live in Florida, you don't have to be stuck indoors when it comes to cooking. Truth is, some outdoor setups rival, even surpass their kitchen counterparts. Good outdoor amenities pay off all around. I've heard that some of these kitchens have outdoor pizza kitchens.
Yes, yes, it's a very big thing right now. We have an example right here, the alfresco pizza oven. This is actually a unit that'll get up to about 1200 degrees on the inside, and it has the stones on the bottom and the top to deflect the heat down.
Adding one of these to your home may amount to a big payoff when it comes to resale. The website Zillow tallied figures over the last 2 years and found that listings containing pizza ovens sold for 26% over expected value.
Putting an outdoor kitchen in your home really does increase the value.
Anthony Zinnette makes outdoor kitchens his business. It's following the hot trend of giving indoor home features a fresh look.
So they have the fridges, sinks, grills, everything from that to a margarita center in it, ice makers, etc. The list goes on and on. These homes are designed for outdoor living.
It's gone from standalone smokers to glam grilling, with enough amenities to satisfy the choosiest of chefs. I have to ask, what is this and what do you cook in this?
So this is a alfresco VersaBurner. It's actually really unique in the way that it goes from 5,000 BTUs to 65,000 BTUs. So it's actually just as powerful as a regular grill. So you could do a little tea kettle on this or a huge lobster crawfish broil if you'd like.
Like the indoor counterpart, entertaining is at the center of today's outdoor kitchen.
So whatever you could fit on that spigot will turn. Small pig, 4 chickens, whatever you'd like.
These setups aren't just for barbecues, they're becoming the go-to for 24-hour dining.
This is actually called a breakfast club. So what we have here is a double burner, and then we have a griddle option. So the griddles are a new thing that these manufacturers have just came out with, but very hot commodity right now.
Do you think it's hit that level where it's kind of like, almost like a status thing, like how big is your outdoor kitchen?
They're beautiful. They're beautiful to look at. The stainless steel, how it shines in the cabinets and the stone.
That touches on what may be the biggest selling feature, durability. A professionally put together kitchen is rugged and built to last.
You can just spray down these kitchens. The way that we personally build our kitchens, you can literally hose them down. So as far as cleanup goes and all that, people really enjoy that aspect of it.
The ease of cooking and cleaning comes at a price.
An entry-level kitchen custom is going to cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, and they can range all the way up to $60,000 to $80,000.
Based on finishes and gizmos and gadgets, but the return on investment is priceless.
Once this unit is heated up, it only takes about 3 to 5 minutes to make a pizza in here.
Are you serious?
Yes, it'd be about 2.5 minutes, and then you give it a nice turn, and another 2.5 minutes. And
does it get any better, like a hot pizza out by the pool watching some TV?
It's delicious, delicious.
From grillin' on to chillin', We're now in the dog days of summer, which the Old Farmer's Almanac considers the 40 days beginning July 3rd and ending August 11th. The hottest of the hot month requires a little cooling off period.
I'm Hy Brownstein. I'm the founder of the Shaved Ice Bar. It's actually the opposite of a snow cone, and it's funny. Snow cones are made of ice, they're crushed ice. And at the bottom, you get a puddle of juice. What shaved ice is it's snow. We're actually making snow from our own blocks that we make, from our own water that we filter.
Just so you can see kind of the genesis of how we make the ice blocks. They're 10-pound ice blocks. We create them in this giant machine called the Kleinbell Model S35. Produces 35 blocks within a 24-hour cycle, and you just place them individually in each one of these cells, and then we can extract them and save them in our freezer. And upon extraction, all of our blocks are stored in here.
There are blades at the bottom of this unit that spin at 1,800 revolutions per minute. And the block is pressed into that blade, and as it spins, it comes out just like snow. Historically, this was done by hand in the old days, and they would actually use a razor to shave the ice into snow.
The secret to what makes a shave ice so good, I think it would be the consistency of the snow itself. Unlike a snow cone, you have fluffy, fresh snow. Drop that down, create our cone. Now here's the unique thing. As opposed to a snow cone, you would never be able to do this. And you can break it apart and see that is real snow. And it absorbs to itself. So when you add that flavoring onto the top of the shave ice, it's going to slowly work its way down as you're eating the treat. It's really, really unique, but it also allows us to layer these flavors.
And what people do say is that your flavors are authentic. The cherry doesn't taste like, a cherry pop. It tastes like a cherry. And there's a big difference between that and something where you're trying to imitate a flavor. So what we do is, we'll put the flavor in the cup. We do up to 3 flavors per serving. And this is a small serving. Larger servings, we actually layer the flavors. And there you go.
So the biggest flavor right now is tiger's blood, which is a combination of coconut and strawberry. Second to that would be blue raspberry. With the way that we build our shave ices, if you see our large shave ice, it's built almost like a cocktail. So you have this variation of colors, and it's really intriguing to the eye, so it almost looks like a piece of art.
I come from New York, where shave ice has been served only in the summer months, and the summer months of 70 and 80 degrees. Down here in Florida, this treat is so wonderful. It's a 12-month treat, and we're going to actually find most of our business happening over the wintertime.
Many people's idea of chilling out is simply getting out of the fast lane and slowing down their hurried lives. In that respect, it doesn't get much more chill than a bike ride.
If you start getting wet, that's the Gulf of Mexico, so you want to turn around.
Okay.
It's life in the slow lane. No one's in a rush at Big Mama's bicycle shop. Nice contrast to the fast-paced world around it.
I think riding a bike goes way back to when we were just kids, and it was the first bit of freedom that we had. You were riding and pedaling, and the wind was in your hair and everything.
The rental shop's been a main stop for years for anyone willing to put in the effort.
As we baby boomers get a little bit older, we've been a little bit better with our bodies and stuff, and so, you can see that everyone wants to ride bikes and just kind of keep healthy.
Now, what do people do most? Do they rent it for an hour, for the day, and just take off?
I would say probably our best rentals are, we do a lot of daily rentals, and then surprisingly enough, we do a lot of monthly rentals as well.
Phoebe Rohr can relate. She prefers pedal power when it comes to cruising.
See the town, get from place to place, try to avoid, driving around in a rental car. It's a much better way to get around.
We've had a lot of customers who have rented cars in the past, and then this year, instead of renting a car, they went on a bicycle because they're so close, and they get a basket on it, and they can go to the store and pick up a couple of things that they like.
Just to stay on their toes, Big Mama's is rolling out something new.
This is it right here. This is a new Elliptigo. This is an 8-speed. so you can really get some speed going and get a good workout going. All lightweight aluminum, of course, all top-of-the-line parts, good tires and everything, a lot of fun to ride.
Kind of like taking the gym outdoors, the Elliptigo uses the same motion as an elliptical machine. It's low impact, easy on the joints, and people love it. Is it hard? Do you have to know how to balance or get used to it?
You know, all you have to do is just really know how to ride a bike. Once you get on it, you know, you'll kind of just get the feel for it.
As people movers go, it doesn't get much better, getting off the beaten path and enjoying the ride.
On a bicycle, you can beat this traffic out here. I can tell you that, that's for sure.
When we come back, mixing acrobatic maneuvers and ice skating together makes for a chilling adventure. That story is after the break.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Bear's $20 million sell-off starts Saturday. We're closing down to markdown, making way for new collections. Up to 70% off every piece of designer furniture. Save big on dining rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, accessories, and more. Sofas from $397, sectionals from $597. Shop early, many items below cost. Everything must go. Bear's $20 million sell-off.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida. And now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now 2 locations to serve you.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
Jean LeBouf has been an anonymous food critic in Lee County for nearly 40 years, and now JLB is expanding into Collier County.
Look for a new review every week. You'll never know where I'll turn up.
Issues impacting intimacy may be a closely held secret, but men are encouraged to speak out when it relates to ED. Today's treatments are helping more patients find relief. Here's the latest in this week's Positively Healthy. Erectile dysfunction is a sensitive issue, one many men are reluctant to discuss even with their doctor, when in fact roughly 50% of men over age 50 are impacted by ED.
One of the challenges is kind of quantifying it. So some men have a mild form of it, some men have much more severe forms, and then there's stigma to it, and they don't want to talk about it, or they're embarrassed by it.
Board-certified urologist Alexander Rosen is with Physicians Regional Medical Group. Medication is the first step in treating impotence, but he says it's not for everyone.
The pills are very specific, that if you're taking certain heart medications or medications for angina, you can't be on these pills.
Fortunately, there's a spectrum of options, some more conducive to heart patients, including vacuum erection devices and injectables.
As you move to some of the other therapies, patients who do have cardiac comorbidities, heart problems, can still get them. So there's like injectable therapies are very specific to really the area being treated and aren't as systemic. And then the prosthetic surgery is probably one of the ideals for those patients if we can control their surgical risk factors.
Effectively treating ED figures greatly into quality of life. Even with many pre-existing conditions, people don't have to suffer in silence.
I think it's important that those men know that they're not alone, Many men are in the same situation. This is incredibly common. As a urologist, I hear about this stuff all the time.
Known for breathtaking circus-style acts, Cirque du Soleil is putting its new show on ice. After more than 3 decades of dazzling audiences with high-flying stunts, Cirque du Soleil is putting its newest production on ice. Charles Runnels featured the show in the news press. Putting the performers on skates makes the show much faster and smooths the way for new exciting elements. Built around the story of a girl named Crystal who dreams of a different life, she ends up falling into a frozen pond, plunging into a world of her own imagination. The traveling troupe performed over the weekend at Germain Arena. The Daily News' Shelby Reynolds took a look at the backstage planning. You can find all our coverage at news-press.com and naplesnews.com. There's no break in the action for our news team. Here's a preview of what our reporters are covering on the beat.
Thanks, Amy. Hi, I'm Shelby Reynolds. I'm the food reporter at the Naples Daily News. This week I worked on a list of restaurants and markets here in Naples where you could find a salad bar. Salad bars seem to be sort of a dying breed in the restaurant industry, but there are still a few places to find them. The list includes some of the national chains, including Sweet Tomatoes and Jason's Deli, but here locally, restaurants have them including the Pewter Mug and Spanky's. Find the complete list online at naplesnews.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Collins, features reporter with the Naples Daily News. This past week I got a chance to work on a story about all the different yoga and meditation classes offered around Southwest Florida. I got to speak to health experts, yoga instructors, as well as an FGCU professor in psychology to kind of get a grasp on what mindfulness is and how to live in the moment, whether that be on a yoga mat, in a nature conservancy, or in your car during rush hour on US 41. For more on this story and to figure out how to become mindful, visit naplesnews.com.
And this guy is always cool. Next up is Brent Batten with his weekly commentary. Brent.
Thanks, Amy. Shakespeare famously asked, "What's in a name?" A lot of money, apparently. Collier County Commissioners on Tuesday approved a contract for $150,000 with the Superlative Group of Cleveland to market naming rights for county facilities. The group has worked on naming rights with the Cincinnati Reds and Cleveland Indians, among others. The initial emphasis will be on selling the naming rights to the amateur sports complex being built on Collier Boulevard near Interstate 75. But Superlative's work could extend to other county properties as well. The Sun and Fun Lagoon Water Park is one example. Here's a suggestion: the Morgan & Morgan Sun and Fun Lagoon, in case someone gets hurt on a water slide and needs legal representation. Or the Cessna Marco Island Executive Jetport. How about the Purina Monkey Chow Zoo, the Home Depot Hurricane Preparedness Division, the History Channel Museum? The City of Naples might want to get in on the act. The Bass Pro Shops Fishing Pier. The county probably should shy away from some potential sponsorships. A few come to mind. The Florida Association of Criminal Defense Attorneys Jail, the Independent Funeral Directors of Florida Medical Examiner's Office, the Febreze Wastewater Treatment Plant, or the Odor Eaters Landfill. Again, drawing on Shakespeare, a mound of trash by any other name would smell just as bad. I'm Brent Batten. Be sure to read my column on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the Naples Daily News. Check me out on Facebook, and as always, thanks for watching.
Coming up, a winning combination. A local ice cream shop announces its newest flavor, created through a contest and picked by the public. That's ahead on Behind the Headlines.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida. And now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now, 2 locations to serve you.
Bear's $20 million sell-off starts Saturday. We're closing down to markdown, making way for new collections. Up to 70% off every piece of designer furniture. Save big on dining rooms, living rooms, bedrooms, accessories, and more. Sofas from $397. Sectionals from $597. Shop early. Many items below cost. Everything must go. Bear's $20 million sell-off.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full-service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA Triple Check Insurance Review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
Jean LeBouf has been an anonymous food critic in Lee County for nearly 40 years, and now JLB is expanding into Collier County.
Look for a new review every week. You'll never know where I'll turn up.
It was a grueling grilling competition that changed the life of a Naples teen. Taylor Sanders won a Food Network Kids Barbecue Championship, and it gave her an experience she's still talking about. Here's an excerpt of the story she shared at our Daily News Behind the Kitchen Door storytelling event.
I've always grown up in the kitchen. My great aunt, my great uncle own a seafood restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, and I've grown up in the kitchen there, and my dad's cooked, and I've just, been able to rely on cooking as my, my niche or how I show my creativity. And one thing that is always on at my house is the Food Network. Chopped is personally one of my favorite shows before they had the whole junior thing. And I always said, you know what, one day I want to be on that. And so mid-September last year, my mom calls me and says, hey, I signed you up for Chopped Junior. And I mean, my jaw just dropped. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? But unfortunately, that didn't plan out because they had too many applicants. But they said, you know what, we really, really like your spunk and your personality. So we want you to try out for this show. And it just so happens to be the Kids Barbecue Championship. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. And before all of this, I had just been starting to get a little more, courageous and brave in the kitchen, whether it was, learning more things about the grill, learning different techniques, like how to present with like the dashes and the dots and the splashes and that kind of stuff. But then when the whole Kids Barbecue Championship came around, I was like, you know what? I have a little experience about that now. Now we can get into this. So people don't realize that the process to get into one of these shows is, sometimes was overwhelming at points, but it all paid off in the end. So we had to do things like Skype calls, and then in one part of it, I had to make a complete dish in an hour in front of people that were on a computer. They flew us out to California, and it was the longest flight ever. Once we got there, we did like a little tour of the set and got to know everybody, and then right away we got into the competition. And so our first competition consisted of, we had 30 minutes to prepare a bacon wrapped and a bacon stuffed dish, and my whole episode was about pork. It was called All About the Bacon. And so we started the first challenge, and I kind of took a concept of like surf and turf, like land and sea, because I live with my mom here in Naples, and my dad actually lives on a cattle ranch up in the center of the state. So I kind of took a play on, the seafood and the beef. So it was a bacon wrapped sea scallop, and then I made a beef slider, and inside the beef slider was bacon and smoked Gouda. And I was a little overachiever and decided to make a side to go with it, and it was cast iron corn and bacon, and it had like jalapenos in it and red bell peppers, and oh, it was so good. And then I decided to make a sauce to go with it, and it was a heirloom tomato and red bell pepper like coulis. And the one thing that I cannot stress to you enough is before the challenge, I was learning on you have to make sure you have salt. If not, they're not going to be able to taste your food. And that was the one thing I missed out on that challenge. But good news, I didn't get eliminated, and I got to move on to round 2. And round 2, we had an hour to make pork 2 ways, and we had to incorporate a fruit element, and also we had to make a signature side. So I decided pork chops are my specialty, so it was a no-brainer to do pork chops. And so I did grilled pork chops, and then in order to, include my fruit, I did a apricot and cherry gastrique, and I put that over top of the pork. And then as my side dish, I did Brussels sprouts and bacon, and that was my number 2 way of using pork. And then I was an overachiever again, and I decided to make lardons, and on the side was an Asian barbecue sauce with that. And I can just remember sitting in that competition and grilling those pork chops like, oh my gosh, I'm cooking for these chefs. Like, I have to make sure these pork chops are cooked absolutely perfect. And me stressing over that absolutely worked out, and my pork chops were cooked perfectly, which I was so happy about. And I used enough salt that time, and I would not have changed anything about that competition. Now that I'm home and after this, cooking competition, so I've had so much support by so many amazing chefs. Just a few to mention, Chef Chris and Miss Lisa, they have been amazing to me. I've got to work in their kitchens, and they've helped me so much to grow as a young chef. And another one, Chef Asif with 21 Spices, he's helped me a lot too after my journey. And they've just helped me to really grow and develop as the little chef that I am today. And I know that I have so much more to learn, but I have so many people to back me up and help me through my journey.
For the past several years, Royal Scoop Ice Creams hosted an annual summertime challenge, giving people the chance to create and name a new flavor. At stake is a year's worth of free ice cream. This year, it was a hotly contested prize. With lots of tasty toppings to choose from, along with a mixed assortment of mix-ins, customers were invited to come up with unique recipes for a new ice cream flavor. Royal Scoop narrowed the field down to 5, letting the public vote on the finalists. And on July 4th, the winning combination was revealed. Squeezing out a victory by just 4 votes was the Dark Side of Cheesecake. It's made from dark chocolate ice cream with chunks of cheesecake topped with a raspberry swirl. Winner Monica gets a pint of ice cream every week for a year, and the joy of seeing her flavor featured in the ice cream shop. Wonder if anyone used my favorite topping, which would be pineapple. That's it for this edition of Behind the Headlines. You can always rewatch this show or catch up on past editions by logging on to naplesnews.com. On the homepage, scroll down to Quick Links and select Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. See you back here next week.